right, good morning. Welcome. Let's go ahead and begin. We'll start in mountain pose, everybody. And get our bodies warmed up. We'll start in standing. First, just coming to stillness. Just take your time as you make your way up to a standing position. Just standing near the top of your mat. Feel the ground beneath you. Feel free to take a few deep breaths. Breathe in deeply through your nose. You can exhale through your nose or out through your mouth. And start to shake loose any tightness in the body. And as you continue to breathe here, just continue to check in with yourself. Notice how you're feeling this morning. Aware of what you might be needing this morning from your practice. Feel free to move your body. A little circle of the shoulders might be nice. Just check in with all of your joints, shoulders and elbows. A little circle of the arms, get into your wrists. Wiggle your fingers. Even just down your body, down through your torso. Check in with your hips. You might just move your hips side to side or some circles. Down the body to your knees, ankles, right down to your toes. Yeah, a little check-in. Our focus today will be on our legs. We have leg extensions and balance today. You can continue to move as you do your body scan or just find stillness. Continue with these slow, steady breaths. Breathing with intention, mindful breathing. Listen to the sound of your breath. So if you can't hear your breath at the moment, just turn up the volume. Just raising that vibration. Good. Aware of how your body is responding to your breath. That might simply be the rise and fall of your chest or belly. Just tuning in so you can fully arrive and be in the moment. Whenever you find yourself in stillness or even just holding a pose or resting in our practice today, just return to your breath. As we now prepare our bodies to move, take 3 more breaths. Just starting to raise the energy within. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Just treat it like a nice stretch all the way up. And exhale, let's fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to, and just guide your way down, no rush. You don't even have to go all the way down. And inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees and extend your spine. We're going to hold here for a moment, just creating this long, flat back. Sometimes I call it monkey pose. Just be sure your feet still feel solid on the ground. There's a slight bend in your knees. Since we're folded over, you might even feel the automatic engagement of your hamstrings, even your core, just so you can hold in place. Stay right here as you inhale, and exhale, just fold again. Just make your way back down and just melt. We'll hold here for several breaths. And again, you don't have to go all the way down, so maybe your hands are still resting on your shins, or put a little bit more bend in the knees, and your fingertips might touch your toes or the ground. Yeah, you can add some movement here as it feels good. Perfect. Through your hips, circle your shoulders, check in with your head and neck. Maybe a gentle and slow nod, yes. Shake your head, no. Even yawn with a very wide mouth. Yeah, releasing any tension you might be holding in your jaw, your mouth, your neck. All right, let's get ready to stand from here. First, our setup, you will shift your weight back into your heels so your toes feel light. You can tap them. Bend your knees and lower your hips like you're sitting down into a low chair. As you're doing that, lift your chest. Extend your arms out to the side and just straighten the legs as you stand up tall. Get even taller by reaching up into the air. Good. And exhale, bring your hands down to your heart, or you can bring your arms down to your side. And just pause for a moment. Keep this connection with breath. Let's just go through that same half salute. Inhale, reaching into the sky. Exhale, leading with your heart, fold forward, making your way down. Moving at your own pace, just moving with breath. Inhale, rise up halfway, create that long flat back. That's our monkey pose. Exhale, fold, right back down we go. A nice complete release here, head, neck, and shoulders. Then the weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees like you're going to sit down, lifting the chest. Out with the arms. Inhale, float all the way back up. Nice. Reaching a little higher as you're able. And exhale, hands to your heart or arms down to your side. And again, another pause. And stay tuned into your breath. Keep this connection. Let's continue with our sun salutation. Whenever you're ready to move, inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. Feel the lengthening through the sides of your body as you stretch high. Exhale, leading with your heart, fold forward, soft knees. Guide your way down. And inhale, rise up halfway. Feel the crown of your head lead you forward so you feel that full extension. Exhale, all the way down we go. Bend your knees low enough to place your hands on your mat out in front of you so you can walk or just step the feet back to the back end of your mat and just draw a straight line through the body here. Pause for a moment, maybe a breath or two, just to feel the strength in your body. Here we go. Breathe in. And the exhale, bend your knees a little to send your hips up into the air like they're floating up, moving into downward facing dog. If you need to, just adjust your feet on your mat, adjust your hands on your mat so you can fully arrive. Perfect. Yeah, make some adjustments. Either hold in stillness or add movement here as it feels good. You might pedal your feet like you're walking or pedaling a bicycle, so one heel might press down towards the floor while the other heel lifts, and just alternate. Feel the knees bend and that movement through the hips. There you go. Nice. Just holding here. If you get a little tired, you can always come down to your knees, resting your hands and wrists. Nice. Moving from here. A nice full breath in. Fill up your lungs as you're able. Exhale, start to draw belly in towards spine, then bend your knees so you can walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat to your forward fold. Inhale, let's rise up halfway. Again, our monkey pose, halfway lift. Exhale, back down we go. Let's hold here another couple of breaths. And while you're here, lean forward so there's a little bit more pressure in the toes, just leaning into the toes. You might even need to grip the mat with your toes so you don't topple over. And just notice what's happening in your legs, your hamstrings, your calves even, your lower glutes. Right, now shift the weight back into your heels so you can get ready to stand. Bend your knees and take that low seat, lifting your heart, spread your wings and float all the way back up, reaching to the sky. Let's keep this moving. On the exhale, take chair pose. So again, the weight shift into the heels, into your hips, sitting back and down into the imaginary seat, outstretched arms. Maybe you can lift your toes or tap your toes there. That's it. Breathe in. And exhale, dive out of your seat back down towards toes, forward fold. We'll just continue. Inhale, rise up halfway to your flat back, hands to shins or knees. There it is. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees enough to place your hands on your mat. Walk, step, or hop the feet back into plank pose. Holding for a moment. Now you can take that same shortcut to downward facing dog here, or with your exhale, bend your elbows, lower your way down to Chaturanga Dandasana. You can certainly bring knees to the floor first. Your back bend might be low. It could be a low cobra or upward facing dog. Then exhale onto your toes, lifting the knees, sending your hips into the air. And again, just make some adjustments with your feet and hands as you arrive. Let's continue whenever you're ready to move. And inhale to extend your right leg up behind you, finding the wall behind you. We're going to hold on the exhale. See if you can get a little longer here. Feel the hands press a little bit more firmly down into the ground. Even press a little bit more towards the center of your palm. This inside edges of your palms, more towards your thumbs and index fingers. Inhale right here, getting a little bit more extension to the leg. Exhale now, let's step the right foot up to the top of the mat in your right hand. You'll turn your left heel so it's on the floor behind you, shifting the weight back into that foot so we find some balance. You want to have light hands here so you can lift, hinging from hips, rising up, facing forward, arms straight up in the air. That's our first warrior. Exhale, hinge and fold. Make your way back down to the floor. And slide your right foot back to meet the other plank pose. You can take that same shortcut to down dog or chaturanga dandasana, finishing the push-up, moving through a sequence that makes sense to you at this moment. Low cobra, very nice. And then right into downward facing dog. Okay, any flow, any movement with breath for that transition is nice. Good, take your time. Other side, inhale, extending left leg up and away. Hold on the exhale, certainly keep breathing here so you can experience the body getting longer. Reaching back, rooted hands into the floor. Press, feel strong straight arms. There you go, hug them in towards your ears as you're able. There it is, breathing in, ready to move. The exhale, descend left foot to the top of the mat. Wiggle the toes forward if you need to, if you don't quite make it. Right heel to the floor behind you, shifting the weight back. Balanced on the feet, light hands here so you can easily lift without any strain to that left knee. Still moving, let's just hinge and fold on the exhale. Make your way back down to the ground. We'll slide the left foot back, plank pose. Finish the sequence as you like. Again, the variation to get into chaturanga, you might bring knees to the floor first, then your chest. Take a back bend of choice, and we'll meet all together in downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. And we'll make our way down to the ground. You can hop forward, cross your legs to take a seat, or just simply kneel down. Sit back briefly in hero. Sit off to the side and just swing the legs around to the front. You might want to scoot forward a little bit onto your mat so you have some room behind you. You can roll down onto your back. And go ahead and draw your knees into chest. And once you're here, maybe some light movements. It's another opportunity to tune into the breath. Okay, a couple of hip openers here and then a back bend. So our first hip opener will be happy baby pose, and I'll also give you a variation of the posture. So you're just holding onto your knees or shins, lightly flex your feet, and then just take the legs wide. Okay, you could just hold this position as an alternative to happy baby, or kick the feet up into the air. If you can, reach up and grab hold of the soles of your feet, or even grab your ankles. So the legs will be pretty wide here, and gently press down as if you're sending your knees down towards the floor on either side of you. It might even feel good to continue that rocking sensation left and right. It just adds a kind of a gentle pressure in the hips to continue to guide them to more release. Just a couple breaths. And then reclining cobbler's pose. So we're just going to bring the soles of the feet together. Hold on to the ankles or the tops of the feet here so the soles can touch. Alrighty? While holding on to the feet, you can just, with a little effort, send the heels down towards the pelvis, just straight down, while your knees or your legs feel like they're pushing gently forward towards the front of the room or the front edge of your mat. And just notice your back, mostly flat. Notice what parts of your back body are touching the ground. And a couple more breaths. Let's get set up for bridge. You'll just release the feet, catch the knees, and bring them together again. We'll set the feet onto the floor. Now you can keep the feet and knees hip distance apart, but you can also take them a little wider, which is what I tend to do here. Again, that nice, firm, and solid connection to the ground. We'll start with the breath. You're going to inhale, fill up your lungs. Exhale, maybe through the mouth, engaging the belly, and then peel your hips away from the floor, lifting the hips right up into the sky. I find with the legs a little wider, kind of like happy baby pose, it just creates a little bit more space in the hips and maybe even your low back. So you can lift a little higher, but you can certainly support the lift of the hips. Use your hands if you need to. Lift and hold yourself up. Or if you're okay with the lower half of the body, you might want to support the upper half of the body by using your arms. You might just Bend your elbows so your arms are at 90 degrees, pressing the backs of your arms down into the ground. Okay, with some effort there. Maybe you can get the shoulder blades squeezing together underneath you. So your heart, your chest just lifts and opens. A couple more breaths. Just a nice opening for the whole front side of the body. Paying a quick attention perhaps to your hip flexors here, upper thigh, even low belly. Are you going to wiggle your toes forward a little bit, making space, extend your arms straight up into the air, and then carefully roll your way down to the floor. Soft landing, and once you've landed, extend your legs out front, and then reach your arms behind you, and just extend and lengthen in these opposite directions. After that extension, go ahead and draw both knees into chest. You're going to rock forward and back to rise to seated. You can even just roll to one side, which I'm doing, and pressing yourself up to seated. So we can come to boat pose here. So just situate yourself here. Just want to ensure we have an extended spine. We are leaning back a little or a lot. A lot just means more tension here on the belly. Lifting the feet if you'd like, but you can certainly do this with feet or heels on the ground. Shins perhaps are parallel to the floor with a knee bend. You can certainly extend the legs, holding on or freeing up the hands. So many variations, and you can try them out and always come back to a more neutral one. Okay, we're going to move from here, breathing in like you're floating up off the ground. Exhale, cross your legs, hands out in front, so you can get the feet and legs behind you, or even roll to your side, and just manipulate the body so we make our way back into plank pose. Couple breaths there so you can continue to feel the core engagement, in this case the belly button pulling up towards your spine. And we'll take a shortcut to down dog, so soften the knees, send your hips into the air. There we are. Make your adjustments with feet. Let's continue. Inhale to extend your right leg up behind you. Reach and hold. Strong straight line. Let's open the hip here. Bend your knee. Bring your heel down toward your backside. Perfect. And the knees lightly lifting towards the ceiling. Doesn't have to be forced. Okay, you have a little twist, a nice opening. And then imagine you're going to draw a big circle in the air with the knee. Big circle. Yes. So we might go down and around and up. Okay, a couple times one direction and then the other direction. Just checking in with that hip socket, okay, and the leg in that socket. Connection, just releasing, hopefully. Some opening, mobility. Inhale. We're going to exhale to unwind from that twist and step the right foot up to the top of the mat. Back to our Warrior One setup. Left heel to the floor behind you. Do find your center. You want to make sure your hands feel light. You can easily float up. That's an inhale, then exhale, opening towards the left side of the room, coming to Warrior Two. That's it. Adjusting the feet so you have good balance. Holding here for a moment. Strong foundation. That's your feet. Moving up the body, strong legs. Long, tall torso, outstretched arms. And then follow the right hand forward, angled upper body, moving into side angle pose. So your right arm will come down, left hand will reach up into the air. Now your right arm, your right hand, it might just rest on the inner right leg. You don't have to touch the floor with the fingers unless you're able to or want to, or bring in a block. You can use that as a prop to mimic the floor. Nice opening. Yeah, wherever you are, you're all there. It's beautiful. Wherever you are, low or high, you just want to feel quite sideways, quite open towards the left side of the room. Let's take a breath in. In the exhale, we'll carefully turn and fold, hands back down to the ground in front. We'll pull the right foot back, plank pose. Hold for a moment for realignment. Soft knees, send hips into the air. Shortcut to down dog. Other side when you're ready. Inhale, extending left leg up and away. Hold. Okay, then we're going to open the hip here. Bend the knee. Heel towards your backside, lifting the knee. So you feel the twist in the spine, hip opening, and that same big circle. Maybe a couple times one direction, a couple times in the other direction. Just pause at the top. You'll take a nice full breath in. Exhale to unwind and step through. Left foot to the top of the mat. Warrior One setup. Right heel to the floor. Shifting the weight back into that back foot. Less pressure and weight up front so the hands easily float up. And then our exhale, opening to warrior two. Adjust the feet. Nice lunge. Strength beginning from the earth all the way up through the legs, through your core body. Energy through the hands. And then follow the left hand forward, angled upper body. There we are. Rotate the arms, reaching down with the left hand, right hand reaching towards the ceiling. Again, feel free to stay up high in the pose. And going low only if it feels right for your body. Good. Yes. Breath. This is another opportunity. You're in an engaged posture, but you can still be aware of the breath. Here we go. Breathe in. And the exhale, careful return to the earth with both hands. Let's slide the left foot back to meet the other. Plank pose. You can still take a shortcut to down dog or complete the full series with Chaturanga Dandasana. Okay, going down, finishing the push-up. Some back bend. It could be a low cobra or locust pose. Exhale into downward facing dog. Finding and feeling the hips float up and away. Once in down dog, just a breath there. Okay. Then you'll inhale, preparing the body to move. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat to your forward fold. Inhale to extend the spine. Exhale, fold again. Okay, stay here. Same thing. You're going to shift the weight towards toes. Grip the mat with your toes. Notice what happens in the backs of your legs. And now the weight shift into the heels. Toes will go light. Bend your knees. Take that imaginary seat. Lifting the chest. Spread your wings. And we'll come all the way back up. Get even taller as you're able. Reaching high. Exhale, arms down to your side this time. There. Good. And just take a moment. Checking in. Breath. Little movement. Neck and shoulders. Down the body. We're going to move into some balance here. A couple of balancing positions, starting with tree pose. Of course, we start in mountain pose. Nice and tall. Just soften the knees. You're going to shift your weight over into your right foot. Root down into the floor. Strong connection. Then a breath in to feel tall, lengthening through the spine. Fill up the lungs. Exhale, draw belly in. That's our setup. So we can pick up the left foot, flex the foot once it leaves the floor, lifting the knee so maybe your thigh comes to parallel. Here's our hip openers. We send the knee out to the corner of the room or to the side of the room, yeah? And then placing foot on the inside of your standing leg. This is just some options. You can bring foot to inner thigh. You can even hold on to the ankle there, okay, or press firmly to release. Foot can be below the knee, at the calf, or even using the ground. Once you've got foot in place, and inhale to take the arms out and up, reaching into the air with the intention of being lifted. Nice extension. Well, you still feel rooted into the earth. Right foot right down into the ground. With that extension, moving in these opposite directions, you might feel a bit more opening in the center. Your left knee might even point a bit more towards the left side of the room. Okay, stay here. We'll keep the arms extended. Swing the left knee forward, lifting your knee with the flexed foot. Yes, active. Plant the foot back down into the ground. Balance on 2 feet, and you can bring your arms back down by your side. Good. Shake all that out, all the way down to the feet. So, maybe a little stretch for that, the one foot that you were just standing on. All right, other side whenever you're ready. Straight legs, but with soft knees. Start shifting weight into left foot. Root down. Nice and tall. Breathing in. Nice and tall. Exhale, core connection. We'll peel the right foot up off the floor. Active foot. Parallel to the ground with the thigh. Swing the knee out to the corner of the room or to the side. Yeah. Placing foot on the inner leg. High, medium, or low. Then your inhale to extend your arms up into the air. Same intention. Get tall. Nice lengthening through the sides of the body. A bit more opening through the pelvic area here. More hip opening perhaps. If need be, tuck the pelvis under yourself. So getting the tailbone to tuck under or feeling like the tailbone's pointing towards the floor. Okay, so your bowl, your pelvis is even here. Your focus is forward or slightly down to help with the balance. Let's keep the arms extended. We'll swing the right knee forward now, lifting the knee with the flexed foot. Yes. Plant the foot into the earth, balanced. Arms down by your side. And shake all that loose, letting it go. It's all in the past now. Good. We're continuing our balance work here. Okay, back to mountain pose. So soft knees, same weight shift to right foot, press into the floor. That's our standing leg. Get nice and tall. Core connection. We're still going to peel the left foot up off the floor, flex the foot, but this time catch the shin or just below the knee here. Right hand maybe to your hip. And it's not just there, but you're actually doing something. So the hand, feel like you're pushing your pelvis down or even helping it to tuck under, okay? So the glutes kind of engage, your tailbone's pointing straight down, okay? We're going to send or carry the left knee, maybe just to the corner of the room. Right there is fine, okay? Maybe to the side, but you want to be sure you're not turning your body, okay? I want to see if the hips can stay square, okay? And just notice when this stops. That's fine there. And let's go ahead and extend the your right arm out to the right side. Okay, feel even taller. If you can't even lift this knee a little higher, left knee, keep this foot flexed. Focus is forward or slightly downward. All right, we're going to bring this right arm up as you bring the left knee forward. We'll set the left foot back down onto the floor, balance on 2 feet, bring both arms up to realign. And then arms down to your side. And again, release all that. Right down to the feet. Okay. And other side when you're ready. Weight shift into the left foot, root into the earth, nice and tall. Core connection, draw belly in. Right foot lifts, bending the knee. We'll catch just below the knee at the shin. Left hand on hip. Actively pushing down or helping the pelvis to tuck under. Still feel tall here, even rolling the shoulders back. We'll send the right knee out to the side and really until it just naturally stops. Being sure your hips are still square facing forward. And since that leg is going that way, for a little balance, we send the left arm out to the side. If you're able, a little lift of the right knee. And a few breaths. All right, together we'll send the left arm up, right knee forward, right foot to the floor, balanced on 2 feet, both arms up, realign, lift, and back down. All righty. All right, from standing, mountain pose will flow. Whenever you're ready, inhale, reaching into the sky. Exhale, take chair pose, weight shift back into the hips and heels. Not here long, we're going to breathe in. Exhale, dive out of your seat, down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, a flat back. Exhale all the way down to the earth, hands to the floor, hop or step back into plank pose. Come down if you'd like, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or a cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, situate yourself in down dog. Another set of lunges here, slightly different. When you're ready, inhale, extend right leg into the sky. Hold, straight line here. Breathing again, more extension. Exhale, extend right foot to the top of the mat. Okay, so we're keeping the left heel lifted. We're rising to a high lunge. So left heel remains lifted. All 10 toes are pointing forward. We still want to find that center so we can hinge and we'll work our way up. We're going to reach high, lunge low. From here, lift, rising so you can straighten the legs a little bit. We're going to pivot left heel to the floor. You're going to turn sideways over there, dropping arms to parallel, making sure your right foot, your toes are still pointing towards the front of the room. We're setting ourselves up for triangle, so straighten the legs. Now, if your legs feel too wide here, you can certainly bring the legs much closer together for triangle. Okay. Now, again, following the right arm forward, reach, rotate here. Feel the extension of the right leg. It certainly affects the hips. Come out of the posture. You're going to bend your right knee, lunge. Come up and pass through a warrior two. Reverse your warrior, right hand reaching up into the air. Maybe to support your hip or back, you might even place left hand on the hip. Just like we did in that balancing pose, you might use that hand to push your pelvis downward. But feel that left side kind of lift. And that will really be supportive in the pelvis, especially if you decide to reach up and slightly behind you through your right hand. Okay, and then a big windmill all the way around and down to the floor in front. Here, step back, plank pose. Finish the series as you'd like. Shortcut to down dog or any set of movements here to get you to downward facing dog. Other side. Inhale, extending left leg up and away. Hold on the exhale. Certainly keep breathing. Just feel the body get a little longer here. Here comes the breath in. Ready to move. Exhale. Step left foot to the top of the mat. We're going to high lunge. So right heel stays lifted. Finding your center by shifting the weight back. Hands are light. Easily able to rise up here. Reach up. Lunge low. Just experience some lengthening down through the right side of your body. We're going to rise up, straightening the legs. Pivot right heel to the floor, turn sideways. Bring arms down to parallel. We're setting ourselves up for triangle. Adjust the feet if they're too far apart. And then reach out over that straight left leg. Angled upper body. Rotate here. So your left hand might land anywhere along this leg. Might be up by your thigh. Might be by your knee. Or perhaps below the knee. Your focus, you can depend, or it depends on how this feels in your neck. You might even look up past your right hand. Or keep the neck neutral, just look across the room, or even look down. Continue to notice what's happening in this left leg, even in the hips, or even a sense of that right hip moving to the back of the room. That movement there, it might even extend this left leg a little bit more. A couple more breaths. All right, we're going to bend the left knee. It just gives us a nice lunge and leverage so we can come up, pass through your warrior two, reverse your warrior, left hand up. You might even reach slightly forward if you don't want to put that side bend in here, or support your right hip and back by placing right hand on the hip, pushing down with some effort, pushing down and even inward. Okay, in will also create that stability. Good extension. Notice the lengthening through the left side of the body. Make sure you're still lunging forward. Here comes our big windmill coming out of the pose, around and down to the floor in front with the hands. Step back, plank pose, and again finish the series as you like. Meet in downward facing dog. We're going to make our way down to the earth. You can hop forward, cross your legs, and take a seat, or just kneel down once again. Let's get the legs out front. Let's do a quick staff pose, so straight legs out front, straight as can be. Flex the feet just to keep the legs active. Hands on the floor by your hips, and just push into the floor so you have that assist of lengthening through the spine. Check in with your shoulders. If they're rolled forward, you want to roll them back. Even squeeze shoulder blades together behind you. So you have upper back stability, and with the exhale, we draw belly in and have the lower belly stability. So this is staff pose, couple breaths. All right, just soften just a little bit. We're just going to take the legs wide. You don't have to go too wide here, but just apart like this. Maybe keep the hands behind you, but you might want to reposition the hands, even spin the fingers back. Same thing, you just want to push into the floor, shoulders rolled back so you maintain a lengthened spine. It almost feels like you're lifting yourself up off the floor. You're not, but you just want to almost have some lightness in your backside. Now let's pay attention to the legs, both legs, so just straight out, flexed feet. Okay. just to keep them active. Now we're going to inhale and grow tall through the torso. Exhale, pull belly in, and just with the assist of your hands, just lean forward, leading with your heart and chin, just coming forward just a little bit. Okay, as you're able, we'll inhale, more extension through the spine at this new angle. Exhale, maybe hinge a little bit more. All right. If your hands feel fine back behind you, stay here, especially if you're going to stay in this pose. Maybe you're getting a stretch through the inner legs. If you feel like you can go a little deeper or even take the legs a little wider, feel free. You can even bring one hand in front or both hands in front as you continue to fold. But as you're folding, okay, we are certainly going forward. Let's stay well in tune with the legs here. You want to feel like the legs from its socket are rolling backward. Okay, so your toes or your feet feel like they're starting to point towards the back of the room while your heart is coming forward. So we're creating just a very intentional outward rotation in the legs. If you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. If you want to round your back, perfectly fine as well. Lower your chin. It just provides a little bit more space so you can go a little deeper if that's what you'd like. Just not forcing the body to go where it doesn't want to go or need to go. All right, 3 more breaths. Rise back up. You might even just look forward just to help that re-extension of spine. If your hands are in front, just guide your way up. Okay. One more thing here. Take your left arm straight up into the air. Reach, side body stretch, and just bring it down towards the left leg. Just let it land where it lands. Okay. Right there. As you're able, maybe just slide down towards the foot. Maybe take your peace fingers, if you can, loop them around the big toe. If you can't reach the foot, that's okay. Just keep the hand resting on the ankle or shin. Just extend your right arm out to the right side, just straight out to this side. We're still maintaining as best as we can that outer rotation. Okay. Let's take both arms up into the air. Bring the right hand down to the shin. Maybe reach out, maybe if you can, peace fingers, find the big toe. Or just hold onto the ankle or shin, or your left arm just reaches to the left side of the room. We're getting a significant stretch and lengthening through the legs here, especially in the hamstrings. So we're going to give them a little bit of a break in a moment. So let's release. Let's come back up. Both arms up. Reach. Nice and tall. Exhale, hands down to the side or behind you. Lean back. Let's bend the knees. Bring the soles of the feet together. So this is just a regular cobbler's pose or bound angle. We did this lying down. Now we're just doing it seated. So you might even scoop up the toes here or hold on to the ankles or shins. A nice full breath in. You can just stay nice and tall, but it might feel good to fold forward. You can let the back round, let your chin drop. So not only are you getting a light stretch through the inner legs, maybe a stretch through your back body with a curvature in the spine. And some deep breaths. Another opportunity to return to the sensation of the breathing, the awareness of sound, of the breath, to keep you here in the moment. All right, 2 more breaths. If the back is rounded and the chin is lowered, maybe just lifting the chin to get the neck in the same alignment as the spine, and then just hinge your way back up, nice and tall here. Maybe a little pause. Maybe send the hands behind you, just lean back. Bring the knees together, just make your way into boat pose. Yes. We're breathing in like we're floating up off the ground. Exhale, cross your legs. Hands out front. Step back or hop back. Plank pose. Strong straight line here. Finding realignment. Choose a sequence that will get you to downward facing dog. You might just take the shortcut once again. There we are. Wonderful. Love that you're taking your time. Let's do another triangle series here. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Right foot now to the top of the mat as you exhale. High lunge. Left heel stays lifted. Shifting the weight back. Find that balance. Rising up here. Once we're tall, hands up, shoot up, straightening the legs. Pivot left heel to the floor. Turn sideways. Arms come down to parallel. And before we tip over, bring your hands to your hips, okay? You want to feel, again, just check in with your pelvic bowl here. For me, I know I need to do this, tucking the pelvis or tucking the tailbone under so it feels like your tailbone is pointing towards the floor. Getting a nice even bowl, okay? And it might even engage the belly a little bit. See if you can keep that action. It even just feels like you're pushing your pelvis towards the left side of the room, just a little push there. Now keep that action. It might even change what happens in triangle pose because everything's kind of lined up here. Okay, let's extend the arms out, reach out, hold there for a moment, pelvis is still pushing forward, and then just rotate the arm. So your hand might come to your knee or thigh, probably not much lower than that. But still feel like the pelvis, or even imagine you're wearing a belt and you're just pushing your belt buckle towards the left side of the room here. We're still encouraging that outer rotation of the right leg in this case. Okay, just by pushing pelvis forward slightly. All right, coming out, bend the right knee, nice lunge. Use that as leverage to come up, pass through your warrior two, reverse your warrior, just a quick one. Reach up high, maybe slightly behind you, windmill, all the way down to the floor with the hands. Just step back into down dog, both feet on the ground. Just hips right up into the air. Both feet on the ground. Same thing, other side. Inhale, extend left leg up and away. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Right heel stays lifted, finding your center. Take your time with these transitions. Rise up. Once you're tall, shoot straight up, straightening the legs. Pivot right heel to the floor, turn sideways. Arms come down to parallel. Okay, let's rest the arms for a moment. Same thing, bring hands to hips. This might feel different on this side, okay? We're tucking the pelvis under, tailbone tucked under, pointing towards the floor, belt buckle just kind of pushing forward, yes? Go ahead and re-extend the arms, reach out over the left leg, make sure the pelvis is still pushing forward, and then just rotate the arms. Again, you may not go down very low, that's not the intention here. Okay? Just being able to stay up kind of high. We are tipped over, but we're high up enough where the pelvis is even though we're tipped over, belt buckles pushing or moving towards that wall you're facing. And encouraging the outward rotation of the left leg. Coming out, let's bend the left knee. There's our leverage to come up, pass through the warrior two to reverse it. Left hand up, maybe slightly back. Just a quick one, then our big windmill all the way around, down to the floor with the hands. Plank pose for realignment. Again, any series of movements to get you to downward facing dog. All right, let's take another seat. So you might just kneel down to take a seat. Okay, take any seat. It might be a cobbler's pose or a cross-legged position, just something comfortable here. Even sit on a block. All right, I'm going to show you something that's going to come next. We are going to use our strap for this. We'll have that handy. I'm going to work with my left leg. I'm going to draw my left knee in, wrap the strap around my left foot, and extend it up. Okay, got my strap, and I may even just kind of wrap it around my hand here, so I've got a nice taut rope here around the foot. Flexing the right foot in this case too, so this right leg stays active. Okay, you might even bring this right arm out to the side. Okay, so I'm just getting a nice stretch here through the hamstring, perfectly fine to bend the knee, and the leg might even be lower like that. Then we're going to start taking the leg out to the side. You might need to maneuver this hand in the strap, taking it out to the side. Stop here. This is about 11 o'clock here, and I'm rotating outward. Okay, did you see how my leg turned? And I'm taking it out even more. I need to bend this left arm. I'm going to release the strap here. So I can bring the elbow to the floor like this. It just gives me much more control over the foot as I take it more out to the side. Okay, just so I don't flip over that direction. That's why we got the active right leg and the active right arm out here. So I'm staying relatively flat on the ground as the leg goes out. Okay, and outwardly rotating. See, my toes are starting to point more towards the floor. And if you can, maybe take the leg that direction. Okay, with the sound. Okay, right there. And then we'll bring it back up. Need more sound effects in yoga. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing here in a moment. All right, grab your strap. Does everyone have a strap? Need to get one? Okay, go ahead and roll down onto your back. We're going to start with the right foot. Let's start with the right foot in the strap. Right foot in the strap, left leg on the floor. Right foot in the strap, left leg on the floor. Okay? So the left foot's flexed just to activate the leg. Left arm can even be out to the left side. First, we're just getting a nice stretch through the right hamstring, even with a bend in the knee, even if the leg is forward and not perpendicular to the floor. So we'll feel the stretch, a couple breaths, feel your connection to the ground here. Okay, now we're going to start to slowly take the leg out to 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, outwardly spiral that leg, turn it out. Take it out a little bit more and get your elbow, your right elbow, down to the ground. Keep that rope tight so you have control over the leg as it continues to move out to the side. Be sure the left arm is extended out to the left so you stay mostly flat on the ground. The whole body is mostly flat on the ground so you don't feel like you're being tossed over to the right side of the room. Alrighty. Continue to outwardly rotate as you're able in that leg, yes, and maybe even send it towards the back of the room if it goes that way. Alrighty. Pay attention to this position because you're going to do this standing. Alrighty. 2 more breaths. After that second breath, let's return to center all the way back up. And if you can, send that left foot into the air. Can you switch feet in the strap? And then bring the right leg down to the floor. And then extend the right leg on the ground. Flex the foot. Yes, activate. Right arm out to the side. Let's first start with that stretch in the hamstring. The leg extension. Good hold of the strap. There you go. Slowly start taking leg to the left side. Stop at about 11 o'clock. Outwardly rotate. Keep it going. Send the elbow to the floor so you have more control. There you go. As it continues to move out to the left. Activate the right foot and leg. Right arm reaching perhaps to the right side of the room. Again, trying to stay as flat as you can. Just being aware if your right hip starts to roll up off the ground. It might a little bit, that's fine. But if it becomes too much, then we're kind of losing a little bit of that alignment. All right, 2 more breaths. All right, we're going to bring that leg back up to center. All right, you can bend the knee so you can release the strap. Set it to the side. Hug both knees into chest. Some movements here through the body, also with the feet, because they were just very active, flexing, so just get some mobility back into the feet. Find your breath. All right. As you're able, you're going to rock your way up into boat pose, right into boat, or just come to seated and then move into boat. Once we're here, breathing in, floating up. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Hop or step back into plank, or just swing the legs back behind you. Plank pose. And again, your series to downward facing dog. Modify it, skip it. Once in down dog, full breath in. Fill up your lungs. With the exhale, engage your core center. Walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat to forward fold. Monkey pose to extend the spine. Exhale, fold here. Another pause in the forward fold. Just notice if there's a little bit more length down through the legs. Here's our weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Coming all the way back up. Get very tall here. Reach, yes. Exhale, arms down to your side. All righty, shake things out. Maybe get a sip of water. I'm going to do another demonstration. So again, we're just going to do the same thing, what we just did on the floor. But let me show you, because I'm going to give you some variations of this. So just watch. You can even come over to a wall. If you need a wall to help you balance, come over to a wall, okay? And let me show you here. So we're going to come to mountain pose, but I'm going to wrap the strap around my left foot here. We'll come to mountain pose. We find that balance. Soft knees. I'm shifting weight into my right foot. Core engagement. I like to get everything all set up. Marionette puppet, lifting the foot here. Okay. Placing hand on hip. Same action, just push down, but also try to encourage the tuck of the pelvis, because it'll just tighten up your core to help you balance here. Okay. We're going to do an extension of the leg forward. Okay. Maybe getting it to parallel. Let me just show you this. You're just going to spin on your heel, just like that. Okay? If you can get it to parallel, okay, without leaning back, all right, try that. Okay? If it's lifting and you are tipping back, then you might just want to keep the leg a little lower. All righty? Spin on your heel. You can keep it low. You can even bend the knee. All right, so our leg extension. I'm going to take my right arm out to the side and start taking the left leg out to the side. Same thing, about here, outwardly rotate, and then keep it going. If I rotate the leg, it's just going to keep that pelvis in a nice aligned state here. Okay? So this is one version using the strap. Okay? I'm going to bring it forward, release. Okay? You can use the strap, or here's another version. Catching the shin, peace fingers, find your big toe, extend. Out with the arm, outwardly rotate. Here. Straight leg over there, or bent knee, or hold on to the knee, because we did this earlier. Okay? So some variations with that. Alrighty. So if you want to try with the strap, use the strap, or free-handed. Let's do the exact same thing. So we'll wrap the strap around the left foot. Right foot's on the earth, mountain pose. Start shifting weight into the right foot, root. Let's get all set up, tall spine, core engagement, draw belly in. We're picking up the left foot here. Okay, if you have a free hand, peace fingers, finding big toe. Right hand on hip. Push down, tuck under. You can extend this leg forward. It can be down, yes? Okay, or if it's up, bent knee, or if it's straight out parallel to the floor, you're flush up against an imaginary wall. Now you're going to start slowly taking the left leg out to the left side, outwardly rotate. Right arm out to the right side, yes? Still trying to get the pelvis to tuck underneath. It's a posterior tilt of the pelvis to help you stay nice and tall as best as you can. Okay, focus forward or slightly just dart the eyes downward. There you go. All right, we're going to bring that leg forward again. Yes. Whoa. Bend the knee. Okay. Set the foot onto the floor. There we are. And relax. Shake it out. Release the strap. Other side. Okay, free-handed or with the strap. Mountain pose. Set it all up. Shifting weight into the left foot. Root. Get tall. Core engagement. Picking up the right foot. Bending the knee. There we are. Hand on hip. So left hand on hip. Push down. Tuck under. Okay, nice and tall. Okay, you got the strap or the big toe. Extend. Okay, straight out. low, bent knee, whatever works. You just want to feel tall as can be. Start taking the leg out to the side. Take your time. Feel the outward spiral of the leg. Continue to feel the pelvis tuck under. Okay, that's what's going to help the leg tuck under. If the leg turns in, your butt's going to push out behind you. You'll fall forward. So we tuck it, we roll it back. Helps you to tuck under. Yeah? Nice. Good. There's variations. Perfect. We're going to bring that leg forward to the front of the room. Release or bend the knee. And foot to the ground. And we're done with the strap here. So set it on the floor next to you. Just return to mountain pose and even just shake all that out. Just keeping movement in the body. Let's go ahead and inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Just going to go through a basic flow here. Inhale, monkey pose, long flat back. Exhale, fold and bend, hands to the floor, hop or step back. Plank pose, come down if you'd like, chaturanga dandasana. And always moving at your own pace. Inhale, upward facing dog or a back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Back to the original flow. And inhale to extend right leg up. Bend and twist open. There it is. We're unwinding. We're stepping through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel to the floor behind you. Going to warrior one. Rising up when you're ready. Exhale, opening warrior two. Maybe a little wider in the stance. Just check in because we've done some leg work. Maybe you can go a little wider here. Then side angle. Reach forward, maybe a tiny bit more. Rotate. Maybe the right hand gets a little closer to the floor. Maybe it does touch the floor. Again, you don't have to touch the ground. Nice opening of the body. Same action of feeling the pelvis or your belt buckle. Push or move, yes, towards the left side of the room. If that means rising up a bit, so you have that mobility, then that's what we do. Breathe in. Exhale, carefully turn and fold, hands to the mat. Back to plank pose, finishing your sequence. Good, I like that. You can bring the knees to the floor first, then chest, maybe a low back bend right here, and then downward facing dog. You can change it every time. Inhale, extending left leg up and away. Let's bend and twist. Getting a little hip opener. The twist is the spine rotating. Then we unwind that twist, stepping through left foot to the top of the mat, back to warrior one. Left side. Right heel to the floor. Feel grounded and centered. Float the arms up. Good extension. Open. Here's warrior two. Maybe a little wider in the stance. Means a deeper lunge. Maybe you're working towards getting this left thigh parallel to the floor. That means a wide stance here, but feel tall. Tuck underneath here. Reach out. Reach out more. Rotate. Side angle pose, Parshva Konasana. Okay, yes, nice. Opening of the body, pelvis or belt buckle moving towards the right side of the room. Yep, nice adjustments. You're breathing in. The exhale to return to the earth with the hands. Step back, plank pose. Take a shortcut to down dog or finish the flow. Meeting in downward facing. Maybe just a breath right there. Come down to knees and just stay in hero pose for just a moment if you're able. Let me just show you how we're going to start the sequence. Okay? The sequence will start in mountain pose. Okay? Same options with those leg extensions and balance. Okay? But maybe without the strap. I'm going to pick up my left foot. You can either catch the knee or shin, okay, or big toe. We're extending. If you're just holding onto the shin, it's like a little kick right there. We are taking it out to the side, outwardly spiral, out to the side like that. Okay. Once we have the leg out to the side, even with the extension here, we're going to release, bend the knee, come right into tree pose. Okay, and both arms are going to go up into the air. Nice tuck under, John, right there. And we're going to swing that knee forward, lifting this knee. This right leg will probably be straight, so we're just going to bend the knee. You're just going to kind of drop so you have a little bit more mobility so we can take that leg back down into a lunge. Here, we'll shoot up. It's going to take us into our triangle. Okay. All righty. Right, downward facing dog. And if you need to or want to, just add a little flair. You just add a little flair to your flow, that's all. Okay, breathing in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet there, yeah? Monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Nice release. Here's our weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Coming up, reach high. Exhale, arms down to your side. Alrighty. Maybe even arriving here as we began our practice a whole hour ago. Mountain pose. Take a few breaths. All right, ready for our sequence. Just soften the knees a little. A weight shift into the right foot. Root down, tall spine, core connection. We're picking up the left foot here. Flex foot, either catching the shin just below the knee or big toe. Either one. Let's go ahead and take the right arm out to the side. You're going to extend the leg forward and then swing it over to the left. You can see my knee is bent, so you can do that, or catch underneath or in front. Okay, we're going to release the foot or the knee, tree pose. Both arms up into the air. Get tall, get that lift. Swing that left knee forward, lifting knee, flex foot, bend the right knee, drop a little, then hinge forward, kick that left leg back, land on your toes behind you. Good. High lunge, nice and tall. Once you're tall, shoot straight up. Pivot left heel to the floor, you'll turn sideways, arms to parallel. Okay, here comes our triangle, add a flare. Bam! Ta-da! There you go. Bending the right knee, lunge. Okay, warrior two to reverse your warrior. You've got it, reaching high into the sky. Okay, big windmill all the way around and down to the floor in front. Step back into plank pose. Finish the sequence, come down. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Your next exhale, float both feet back up to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale, monkey pose. And a fold. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Growing tall, reaching into the air. Exhale, arms return to your side. Okay, back at the beginning here. Shifting weight into the left foot, finding the earth, feeling the sky above you, and your center. Lifting the right foot, bend the knee, catch the shin or big toe. Okay, nice and tall here. You might even already start to extend the left arm out, and then extend the right leg forward. Swing it out. Don't forget your outward rotation there. Extended, bent, holding onto the toes or holding onto the shin or knee. Keep this foot flexed, the right foot. Just keep that leg active. Releasing the toe or the shin, tree pose. Somewhere on the standing leg. Both arms up, get the lift. We're sending the right knee forward, lifting knee, flexed foot. Bend the left knee, a little drop, so we can hinge and extend that back leg and come down to our high lunge. Okay, then we'll shoot straight up. Pivot right heel to the floor. Prep for triangle here. Take it out. Okay. Lunge. Bend the left knee. Rise up. Reverse your warrior. Getting a little lengthening through the left side of your body. In our windmill, all the way around and down to the floor. With the hands in front, step back. Slide that foot back. Plank pose. Coming down, chaturanga. Up dog or keep it low. Downward facing dog. We're going to take another seat. You might hop forward, cross your legs, and take a seat. You're going to roll down onto your back. Hug the knees into chest. Add some movement here. Circle the ankles. All right, we're going to come to an inverted posture. Here's some more options for you. You can just lie flat as you are on the ground and extend the legs straight up into the air. That'll be your leg extension. inverted pose. Or set the feet onto the floor, grab a block, hopefully it's nearby, lift the hips, slide a block underneath you, and then extend the legs. It just gives a different sensation. It might even feel a bit more supported. Okay? And then extend the legs. Or you can move into shoulder stand, where you take legs and hips up into the air. A couple of versions of that. You might just sit in your hands. Okay? Just sit in your hands. So your hands are along your waistline, legs are mostly extended, you have some angles in the body, that's fine. What I like about that modification is that there's not a lot of pressure in the neck and shoulders. And if you were going to do the full version, I would recommend that you use a blanket underneath your head. But if you feel okay, you can take the legs all the way up, bring your hands more towards the center of your back. So your pelvis is free, so you can draw that straight line up and down. There you go. Yes. Good extension. You can keep the legs up or even come to plow pose if you like, just an option. You might just start by bending the knees, bring your knees down towards your forehead and keep them bent, or from there extend the legs, reaching the feet towards the back of the room, or the toes might come down behind you and actually touch the ground. Okay. A couple more breaths wherever you are. And then you'll support your body, softening a little bit, and carefully roll your way down to the ground. We're going to come to fish pose. Okay, so lengthen the whole body, so legs out front. You want to get your arms underneath you, straight arms underneath you. So you might lift one side, get that arm underneath, lift the other side, same thing. You're lying on your arms, shoulders are squeezing together behind you or underneath you, palms are down on the ground. Point your toes. Okay? You're going to lift your upper body, so just press into the floor with your elbows to lift the upper body, arch the back, that's the back bend, tip the head back, and gently rest the head on the floor, very lightly, no pressure on the crown of your head. So perhaps you can see the wall behind you, it's upside down. Still breathing in to really feel like your heart is lifting up towards the ceiling. That lightness there, that way the head and neck stay light. Long, strong legs, pointed toes. Fish pose, Matsyasana. Okay, a couple more breaths. Good. If you made it to fish, coming out of it, you're going to lift your head, tuck your chin in towards your neck, roll down onto your body. Okay, release the arms out from underneath you. And just pause there for a moment. A little quick preview to Shavasana. We can add some more movements here. You might draw your knees into chest. You really can decide what you need here. You can repeat some poses we've already done, like happy baby pose, reclining cobbler's pose, another back bend if you need it, or add a twist here. Maybe the windshield wiper twist with the legs, getting into the hips and low back, or a spinal twist, just taking both knees stacked over to one side, hold for some breath in the other. So just taking the time that you need in each of these additional poses. Even if it's just a movement that would just feel good, it doesn't necessarily have to be a yoga movement or position. Plenty of time here, so if you'd like to continue with movements, extra positions that your body would appreciate, yeah, legs against the wall is nice, more twists, or if you feel complete, just find your way into a very comfortable, even nurturing position. Could be Shavasana, even just for a few moments. Maybe you want to change that posture by bending your knees or roll to one side. Use props. If you need a prop, let me know. I can grab you a blanket or a bolster if you need something to help feel extra comfortable here. No need to move just yet. Just be mindful of the breath. Stay in the moment. Keep this connection. Once again, return to your breath. This time, as you pay attention to the breathing effort, take 5 slow, steady breaths. Full and complete breaths. As you're breathing, perhaps just acknowledge your practice this morning. Finding strength and stability in your body, allowing you to extend, balance. As you're breathing here, feel movement return to your body. And when it feels right, taking your time, roll onto one side of your body. Pausing briefly in this nurturing pose. And slowly rising to seated. And once you're here with your extended spine, sitting proudly, hands can remain in your lap or bring hands to heart center. And wherever you are, just taking one more breath. Full and complete breath. And as we come to the close of this portion of our journey together, we bow, saying, Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.